All right. So with that being said, okay. Hold on real quick. Let me just double check something real quick. I just wanted to pop on. Uh, hold on. Let me go to my stream so I can read some comments. The reason why I have this stream, and I know people are gonna funnel in at different points in time, but the reason why I have this stream is because I was, um, hold on. I was actually sitting, I was watching something earlier, and it made me sit and think about maybe there's a different way that I can approach doing content, or not doing content, but like just a different way of, because I have just an audience of less than 10, right? Maybe there's a better way that I can communicate so that maybe my audience truly gets me or understands me as a person, or they just actually have a better sense of knowing like me as the content creator. Sorry about that. So as me as the content creator, um I have this YouTube channel, and I just shoot the shit, and I give my thoughts and opinions about Pop the Balloon. And I'm not gonna be on very long unless like people really want to like engage. But I just wanted to come on and just say this a little bit. But as a content creator, right, you're you're giving so much of yourself to accurately, not accurately, you're giving so much of yourself to just speak your honest truth about whatever the subject is, whether it's about cars, employment, girls, or whatever you're talking about. And I noticed that maybe it was on me, or maybe it's on my heart to just talk about it, but I have a feeling that not anybody that watches me, so not Poor Man, not Scotty, not TMX, not anybody who watches me consistently, but I feel like I have a, what is it, a watcher that watches my stuff. And maybe this is just I got an inkling that somebody watches this stuff and they may have a negative opinion about me or what I do or what I say. See, again, I don't know who it is that's in my they just came in, but uh I'm just talking right now. I don't really have a like a video to review, and I will be going on later. I may pop a video up, but I just wanted to say this. I feel like I have somebody who watches my content, not anybody who is in the comment section or likes the videos or anything like that. I feel like I have somebody who watches me when I go live, and I don't know who it is. And I feel like this person is not really for, they may be just confused about me, like giving my thoughts or my opinion or something about content, or even the type of content I do. And that's fine because people gonna feel how they feel. But I just wanted to come on and just say, like, at the end of the day, whatever you hear from me, just realize this is me and my opinions. Don't take this as a state of fact unless you see some shit like that has nothing to do with me. Like a plane crashed in Louisville. Everybody's seen it there, like 6, 7 people dead or whatever from it. That's a horrendous tragedy. So you can take that as fact. That actually happened to people. But anything that I talk about, just take it as just me talking shit on the internet. You know what I mean? This ain't got shit to do with. Hold up. This ain't got this ain't got shit to do with uh where the fuck my charger at? I put my shit on. This ain't got shit to do with this ain't got shit to do with people thinking I'm somebody's putting me up to this, because I feel like people think that I'm some type of way, or I'm unapproachable, or I'm just all of a sudden a changed person. And in a way I am a changed person because I realize like my mortality. You start to fly further when you realize you're not going to fly long. And that's the biggest reason why I do content. Now, people may agree with it, people may not agree with it, people may like it, people may hate it. At this point, I don't even really care. I never really cared to begin with, because it's for me. I don't do this content to just I want to get rich, nigga. Don't take
Oh,
that
no,
as,
no, no, no.
I'm hoping this pays out financially in the long run. Make zero
You
mistake
have to
about that
read
shit.
this.
I want this to pan out financially in the long run, but in terms of just me doing content, in terms of me having this clothing line, you see my tee right here. Hold on, get you a better picture of the shirt. It's right here. It ain't for sale, but I got so many things I'm doing, and I say all this to say that I feel like somebody's watching me and they maybe feel scared to actually communicate with me about something. Come the fuck on, bro. Hold on. What is this, bro? Hold on, real quick. What? Mind the PC. Nigga, quit reminding me about some damn Game Pass, bro. I'm not about to pay for that shit. Anyway, um, yeah, I just feel like people are watching me, or there's somebody watching me and they want to engage with me, but they don't know how to engage with me because they feel like I'm a be some type of way or off putting or something like that. Nah, bro, this is just me giving my. I was always like this as a person, but I was always quiet like this. I always just did my own thing. So where I had friends growing up, there was an all type of. I got friends that grew up Bloods and Crips. I hung out with everybody. Like I wasn't no Blood or Crip growing up. Not to say I'm better or smarter than anybody. It just I wasn't that person. I don't really care for to gang bang a color. That shit don't make that it don't mean nothing to me. If you want to do that, have at it. But I never really was that person. Or even people that I fell out with, you know what I mean? Like I've given an example about me having friends that we had fallen out over conversations and shit like that. I don't hate nobody. I don't feel any type of way about somebody making their decisions. I just know me and the decisions I'm making and what comes of it is what comes of it. But I'm not here to hold back nobody in their decisions. I'm damn sure not gonna be held back by somebody's decisions or somebody's thought that they're gonna hold me back. And at the end of the day, I want everybody to fucking Kendra said it best. I still love when y'all see success. Everything with me is blessed. Like I want everybody to see success. I want everybody to be blessed. You know what I mean? I just know that I'm going about it this way. You don't have to like that I'm doing it this way. You don't have to hate me for it. You don't have to help me go about it. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to donate. You don't have to contribute, do nothing. But I know I'm just being honest. I'm just being myself. And if that rubs people the wrong way, fine. But at the end of the day, I want to communicate with everybody. I want to be friends with people. I want to be cool with people. It's just I can't go about it the way you want me to go about it. And that's where everybody from, you know, any and everybody that I have any type of at any point if I ever have friction with. This is goes for my wife, this goes for my kids, this goes for my parents, this goes for my friends, this goes for family, this goes for coworkers, this goes for anybody, you know. I'm not afraid to live my life. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. I'm not afraid to be myself. Maybe I was or maybe I wasn't, but I'm just me. So I'm gonna live and do me and all that all that shit at the end of the day. But it is what it is. I did want to come on and say that, and this is just a late night talk. We ain't got to really go into nothing in particular. I did want to go into do some Instagram shit, so I'm not going to be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get a longer video, and I'm gonna try to get some more shorts out. So I'm gonna try to push a whole bunch of shorts. I'm gonna try to put maybe like one short every day out for a nice little minute. And yeah, but I just wanted to say that before I come on. So I am gonna I was watching a little bit of is he still on? I don't know if DA if you still on, I'm gonna have to just hit you up off of or DA if you ever see this, just hit me up on IG or something. I just want to give you my number so You know what I mean? I'm on your show often enough, and I just want you to have my communication. So if you ever need to reach out to me or say something or speak to me at any point, you can call me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm more personal. I feel like I need to be personal. And that goes for anybody that really watch me. I'm not saying I want all you niggas calling me, you know what I mean? Because I clearly don't.
You ugly motherfucker.
But if you are a supporter of the show, I definitely want your opinion. You know what I mean? If you rocking with me, I want you to care, and I want you to know that I care about you. You know what I mean? So that being said, I was watching this woman by the name, I don't know if you know, Vanessa Wingard. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? But this is a woman. She's talking about the age of AI and shit like that, and
are the fastest growing group of those experiencing homelessness, with that number expected to double by 2030.
This is my tent. There's my kitchen. Yes, I am out in the woods. But here's a little secret. I got plenty of privacy.
Because despite paying into Social Security with every paycheck, that money isn't being saved for you. It's being used to pay for current retirees, and it's also not keeping up with the cost of living. The average monthly payment for retirees is $2,002. I'm not currently.
see, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And this is the reason why my convictions and my messaging, my convictions in what I say is so deep rooted that I don't accurately know how to portray this out. So when this woman just says the average monthly payment to retirees is $2,000, yet it $2,000 don't get you shit in this world. That's an issue. Now I agree that's an issue. But here's what I say, and this is the reason why I say my concept's different. This is the biggest reason why I wanted to I have this viewpoint. When you have these earthly systems, and this has always been like my opinion, when you have these earthly systems of work, formal work, as in we go into work and we got paychecks and we have a government, we have health that we take care of in different ways. When we have all these systems and shit like that, they fall apart because they're not done accurately. They're not done accurately because people aren't being honest. And they just showed a clip of a woman living out in the fucking woods because she's dead broke. And I'm not laughing at the woman. I feel pain when everybody's fucked up. But we're not being honest. And that's why I say in my messaging, I'm going to always be honest. I'm going to always speak my honest truth. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm never going to say I have something that I don't have, or I'm going to portray myself differently. I am equally as worthless as everybody else that is in the world. I'm just honest about it. So that's kind of my real messaging. And that's why I say when these people think that, I know there's people in my personal family who think that I don't believe in God or I don't believe none of these things. And it's like, no, I do believe in God. I just don't believe in the God that you want to portray to me. That's my thing. And if it's all based on a book, like you're telling me, then I agree with the book. Now, do I think the book has been tampered with over history? Absolutely. But I agree with the principles of the book. That's why you have that natural feeling of right and wrong. When you do wrong to people, you have that guilt. It's a mechanism to let you know like you're doing something wrong. Now, as far as the book is concerned, the Bible, yes, I do believe in that. But where y'all got me fucked up is people in the religious spaces, y'all don't even do that accurately. So you want to portray, okay, Wayne, don't do this. Wayne, don't speak like this. Wayne, don't act like this. But when we go to that book and it says, Christians don't do this. Followers of God don't do this. Don't do that. Don't speak this way. Y'all don't do that shit. But meanwhile, you hold this fan up to me and you want to chastise me, yet you don't do everything that book says to do. And so when I point out something that you're clearly not doing and you're clearly going to overlook, then you want to throw oh, it don't mean this, that, and the fourth. Dude, it's written in plain English. Translated from Hebrew, but it's written in plain English. So that's why I have the feelings and the convictions that I have about content. And that's why I make the type of content I make. And I speak about the things I speak about.
In the US, but even here in Stockholm, that wouldn't cover my rent. But regardless, the US government is considering increasing the retirement age to 69, despite many workers claiming that employers are deeming them too experienced, a nice way for these companies to say that they don't want to hire you after 40. And actually, Workday, that horrible job application software, they're being sued with applicants alleging the company's AI disqualified them because they were over 40.
So
The chat disappears. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, shout out to my boy Laughing Man for
You
being here.
ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, Laughing Man. Shout out to you. And you were somebody that I got a real appreciation for, because you also have, medical hindrances. I'm not gonna say just disabilities out loud, but you're somebody that suffers from medical conditions, right? Such as myself. And we can be confusing to people, like, and that's why I just said, like, when the reason why I make this content is because this is me just being honest. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'll never tell people I'm correct, but I am being honest. I'm being something that most people are not willing to do. And that's why when we see these pop the balloon videos and we see a girl say, "Oh, you ain't paying my rent, you ain't doing this, that, and the fourth," it's like, man, you never even dealt with a dude like that. Yet, if that dude presented himself, like, you still gonna try to get over, like, you're so far removed from ever dealing with that type of person. You're better suited, in my opinion, you're better suited fixing your own life. You know what I mean? And then people, and this is the reason why I ultimately say the church is where every worldly problem starts. It starts from the church, because the church doesn't accurately speak about these issues and how to alleviate people from it. And that's why I made the comment in my last stream where I said the Bible is meant to limit you. It's a reason why this book, or any religion, I'm not saying that this religion is correct over other ones, right? But it's a reason why rules hinder you. Like, more rules hinder you. It's a positive thing in a sense when it comes from a god or religion or something like that, because it puts you in a box. When you are in a box, you are safe. Think about when you purchase something in a home, or you got a home. The home takes the brunt of the walls, the wind, the rocks, the dangers of outside is on the outside of the walls. As long as I'm on the inside of the walls, I am protected. So what a religion does, and I agree, and this is what it's supposed to do, it puts you in a box. It puts you in a box of, don't do this, don't do that. Don't eat this, don't do that. Don't say that, don't maneuver like this, don't interact with people like this, don't do this to your body, don't think like it. Hinders you. It's for your benefit. It's supposed to do that so that you're protected from everything else that's outside of it. But what do these faux Christians, I call them gangbangers, Bible gangbangers, what they do is they don't like that. What they do is they want that protection, as we all do. I want to be protected too. So you want to be on the inside of the box, but then you want to have all of the amenities that are on the outside of the box. You want to hop the fence back and forth. And I'm saying, fine. I agree. We all do that as humans. That's not a Christian trait. That is a human trait. All of us want to do that. All of us currently do that. Whether you're black, white, rich, poor, young, old, fat, skinny, all of us do that in our lives. My only thing is, don't be in people's face proclaiming you don't live like that when you clearly live like that, for one. And for two, don't proclaim you don't live like that when we see you not living like that. Like, it's one thing for you to lie and say, it's like walking in on a room saying, and you seen your kid with something broke, and it's like, did you break it? They're like, no. And then I got video evidence of them breaking it, and then asking them again and they're saying no. Like, nigga, I have you on film. Like you're on film breaking the thing. And you're still telling me no. I got you dead to rights and you're still lying about it. And that's the thing that I don't like that people do. And that's my only gripe about any content creator, anybody in any space, or even like when I get my thoughts and takes about religion as a whole. Because people want to live inside of it and get the safeties and protections of it, but you don't want to live out how it says to live. Because that book says to do so many things, but if you did them, you would be protected. But no, you're gonna do the 10 that are easy, or the 5 that you like to do, or the couple that you it's on autopilot. But the really hard ones you ain't gonna do, because you're not gonna get to drive a fancy car. You're not gonna get to take trips out of town. You're not gonna get to deal with people who you want to deal with, guys and girls. This isn't a thing on men, and this ain't a thing on women. This is both guys and girls. You know, but that's the biggest shortcoming. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let this video rock out.
I made a post about over a month
and y'all let me know. This is a late night stream. Y'all can put down in the comments whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about it. You can ask questions about me. I feel like I've been more just pushing, like doing these videos and stuff like that. And yeah, so yeah, just let me know if you want to talk to me about something, or you want to speak about something. Don't hesitate to just put it down in the chat. And yeah, man, we can talk about it. I'm going to be open about everything related to me, or how I think and feel. I'm not going to sit up here and hide it. I'm not one of these people who rich and just got to lie to you. I'm not going to get no fucking body surgery and be like, no, I didn't. I earned my body the right way, or or no, I'm this way or that. Or I've never done this. Dude, like I said it before, real quick. I had a friend growing up, and I don't even know how the conversation happened, but he was so adamant around talking with other guys in the group, like, or something like that. It was some girl, something, I don't even know how the conversation popped up, but it popped up about talking about PORN, right? Corn, as they like to call it. And he wanted to make this claim that he had never, let's just say, defiled himself with corn before. And I'm like, nigga, we are all 18-year-old boys. I can name 50 corn stars that I would knock down in a hurry, nigga. So you're not about to sit up here and tell me you never done it. But again, this is how people feel that they want to live their lives. They want to be like, oh, I'm so pristine, and oh, I'm so perfect, and this, that, and the fourth. And it's like, bruh, give that shit up. If you will be honest, we can move forward. But you know what I mean? And that one example, my friend, I don't even know how it happened. It was a girl involved. She's like, yeah, y'all probably watched Corn. And he was like, nah, I ain't never watched it before in my life. And then we all started clowning. He was like, nope, never watched. I'm like, nigga, you 16, you 17. You're not going to tell me you haven't watched Corn before, bruh. Unbelievable, bruh. Like, just niggas be lying. Like, people just be lying. They've been lying since we've been lying as kids. We lie as adults. It's just annoying to me. I just don't want people lying no more. So anyway.
Ago talking about how I was laid off at 50, being at the peak of my career, and thousands of you replied saying you're going through the same thing. They say you're too overqualified. Again, you're not going to be happy here. I even had someone make a comment saying that they went to Trader Joe's to try to get a job and they were denied because they are overqualified.
It's 2025, and the new reality is that people in their mid-50s, late 50s are the new unemployables. It's almost impossible to land another job at your current level. You can almost kiss it goodbye. They can say ageism is illegal all they want. They can make believe that it's kumbaya and we love everybody and we're all equal. And no, it doesn't work like that.
If that's the case.
So, yeah, that's and that's something else that I want to like do more with my content is stress to anybody who watches me that, listen, these worldly systems, it's no reason why we have the stuff we got going on with guys and girls. We got the shit that we got going on in our economy. We got the shit we got going on with health. None of these fucking diseases that we had the last 50 years appeared hundreds of years ago. None of them. Half these STDs didn't happen. Half of these like smallpox, polio, all these things are all recent. When I say recent, I mean last 75 years, but our human history predates back way before that. None of these things existed, but we're just at a place in life, I believe, where every one of these systems was all built on a lie. All of it. Our food, our health, our economy, our jobs, our religious beliefs, our friendships, our relationships, our children, our parents, are the things we buy, our services, our thoughts, our the friends we make, all our ideas, all of our hard work, all our ingenuity, all of our buildings that we build, all of this shit was built on lies. All of it. And because it was built on lies, it was never honest to begin with. And that's why, and the people who were smart enough to realize that, they got filthy rotten rich over it. They'll smile in your face while in the back end taking off the top, and that's fine. I don't believe in doing that personally, but I can recognize that as a smart move because they looked at it like, oh well, shit, we all stealing. Well, shit, I'm gonna just figure out a way to get mine, and since everybody's lying, everybody's cheating, everybody's fucked up, I'm gonna just figure out a way to get mine off the top, and y'all can have what y'all want, And they were smart enough to do it. This is you're extremely wealthy. This is these are your people who, like I mentioned, the whole thing with Chauncey Billups and the NBA scandal. Funny how that just went out of the way, right? See, it's all these little things that the last 2-3 weeks ago, the biggest thing in the world was everybody in the world was talking about NBA scandals or sports betting scandals. 2-3 weeks later, the shit never happened. Unbelievable. But people think like that. People just allow this shit to go. Now, if y'all are still going to sports bet, I don't know why. I'm not saying I wouldn't sports bet, but I sports bet with less than $10. So I'm going to put a harder parlay, and I'm probably going to hit once in 100 times, but I'm only going to bet $5 to $10 per time. And if I win, I probably get 1,000. That's it. But I'm doing this once every, I don't even know. Once every month, I'll bet $10 on a parlay of some sort. But I'm not about to be out here actually betting and gambling because it's all rigged. It's all a lie. Everything, like I say, every time and again, everything we do, everything we interact with on a daily basis is a lie. The food is a lie. The government's a lie. Our jobs are a lie. These sports betting apps is a lie. Our technology is a lie. The things we wear is a lie. How we communicate with each other is a lie. Our expectations are a lie. Our wants and needs are a lie. The services we provide to each other are lies. The homes we live in are lies. The fucking jewelry wrappers, everybody wears these jewelries and all this costume jewelry and shit, that is a lie. It's all fake. It's all busted. So what the next thing I'll tell people is, knowing that, and this is the biggest thing I put in my messaging is, do what's in your best interest. That's it. Always do what's in your best interest. That is it. That's all I'm gonna ever tell you. And you got comply, compel, or concede. That is it. Those are your 3 options. It's so much better understanding you got 3 options, than 2. Because most people just think, man, I gotta either do or don't do. It's like, well, no. There's a couple of options in there. You just gotta figure it out. What are you willing to live with? What are you willing to give up? Are you going to force somebody to comply in the situation you need? Maybe, maybe not. It depends. Forcing somebody to comply is in your best interest at some points. I'm not going to say what, but most of the time, I believe compelling somebody to work with you is best. That way they get something out of the deal, you get something out of the deal, and then everybody can go home. Everybody can go home. But if neither one of those two options are a go, then you just gotta concede. Say, you know what? Wash my hands, and don't think washing your hands is the worst part of it. It's an actual viable option. Just wash your hands. Go without it. Figure it out elsewhere. Let that relationship go. Go do something else. And that's where I'm at in life. So,
Case, how exactly are we supposed to work until we're 70 if these
and that's another thing. How are people supposed to work till they're 70? You're not really supposed to work until you're 70, but this is the world that we built. This is the world that was built. This is the world that we live in. I'm not gonna say that it's built because this happened with, in my opinion, it happened with our parents. So this is the world that they kind of created. They let this shit start however many years ago. It snowballed into this. Now it's got to be tangled and pulled apart so it's actually fixed. But again, there's no fix to it. The fix is we honestly, what I believe the fix is, and this is how everybody, this is going to return 99% of people into God's people right off the rip. I think 99% of people will turn into God's people in almost instantly. Almost instantly. You know what that's going to be? No electricity. That's the only thing that's going to fix it. All the electricity in the world goes away. So now that means all this food that you got, all these potato chips and shit people eat, that shit's gone. All this fucking makeup that machines make for women, that shit's gone. All these fake jewelries and diamonds and rubies and shit that people want to scam, and all these clothes and shit that people buy, that shit is gone. All these fake services and fake homes and stuff that we work dead end jobs to get, all of that's gone. And the only thing that's left is you got to do for yourself. You do for yourself. I do for myself. This woman on the screen does for herself. Laughing Man does for herself. And when I say do for yourself, I mean yourself and your family. So me and my family, her and her family, Laughing Man and his family, like that's how it works. You do for your family. You grow your food. So you're actually interested. Now you're not just going to sit at home and bullshit all day, or you're not going to sit at home and waste your life away. You're actually going to die doing that. If you do it for a day or so, you're going to die. So you're going to get out, you're going to work. You're going to be in a better physical shape because you got to actually toil the earth. All this fucking thought with a woman saying a guy's got to provide this, all that shit goes out the fucking window. Because the girl's going to be rolling up her sleeves, toiling the earth right alongside of you, just like God created. Literally, in the very first, like, she was made to help. That's a whole nother story of Adam and Eve. But if Eve was made to help Adam, she's going to help. She ain't going to be like, Adam, you ain't providing me with fucking gifts, trips, none of that shit. No, it's gone. All of that's gone. All of these thoughts that, oh, well, you got to do this, or, oh, I'm not going to do this for friends and family. All that shit's gone. All of it. All of these people think, oh, well, I'm a band together and we going to rob somebody. All of that's gone, bruh. And then there will be little pockets in communities, how it's supposed to be, with no more than, I say, no more than 3,000 people max are going to be in this little region or area, and everybody knows each other. That is the maximum number where everybody can know each other on like a first name, last name basis. Our kids can grow up together. It's not super interconnected to the point where there's like, what do you call it? Incest and all that stuff going on. But that's how it's going to be. And until that happens, this system that we live in is going to keep perpetuating itself. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
companies stop hiring people around the age of 40. And more graduates are now switching to trade jobs, meaning that blue-collar workers are now competing against white-collar workers for the same handful of trade jobs. We've seen at least 180,000 government employees let go, and now we see senior FANG employees re-entering the job market after layoffs.
I'm a recent college grad looking for a job, and today I learned that not only are we competing with all of the people last year who couldn't get jobs, we are also competing with people who are currently working in entry-level jobs and looking to switch companies because their companies aren't promoting them because the market is so bad. A recruiter I just got off the phone with told me that I'm going up against someone who has 2 years of postgraduate full-time work experience, and I just don't know how I'm supposed to compete with that.
So let me get this straight. We have retirees, new graduates, blue collar and white collar, government employees, senior FANG employees, all fighting over a dwindling number of jobs. And at the same time that everyone's trying to find a job, inflation is out of control. The cost of living the past 5 years just keeps increasing.
I want to see if
Yep. And this is why I say all these jobs that people think are, again, this is the reason why I say the things I say. And I know maybe I'm not saying them. I know why I'm not like the biggest YouTuber, because I don't have the most funds to, right? I don't have the most funds to drop into pushing reels and shorts and stuff like that. I have a thought pattern to do it. I have like a play to do it. I'm just slowly working up to it. And I'm gonna do it soon, but if I can crack into it and actually it take off, then maybe maybe it'll be like how I envision it would. But I know that my message is right and exact. The only way that this stops is, like I said, everybody's going to have to do the same thing, or we're all going to share the same shitty experience. And the reason why all of us don't share the same bad experiences, because some of us are doing better than others. Some of us are a little bit more luckier. Some of us can work a little harder. And some of us actually work enough to make it out. But for the most part, everybody's still in this horrible situation. We're going to stay in this horrible situation as a country until everybody realizes this is not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to live this way. Now, in my opinion, I think we're supposed to live in settlers community of no more than 3,000 people. But with millions of people and all that, I don't see how that really happens. But again, these are my thoughts, my opinions. But I think that's how it'll be. And in order for that to happen, there's not going to be a certain singular incident, because people are still going to listen to what people tell them to do. It's not until there's nobody telling you what to do and there's just, you have to figure it out on your own. At that point, you will live. You know what I mean? At that point, you will figure out. At that point, it'll recognize in your brain that you need to live. And you will do everything in your power to live. So at that point, that's when it'll happen. But until that happens, we still going to have this bad job market, and people going to lose their jobs, and it's going to be no upward mobility. And also, this is the time where people should be doing independent business. And it lends to what I just said earlier about we supposed to live in these communities with no more than, I say at max, 5,000 people. The absolute max is 5,000 people. Because at that point, if we have a group of people who deal with the land, who build the thing, we have a group of people who make the food, we have enough people providing security for all of us in this region. You have enough people to teach the young ones. You have enough women and kids to teach the kids. You have enough youthful men to stave off other tribes of men and stuff like that. But it's when we get outside of that number and we get too big as people, then you have people being selfish. Then you got people, who's going to come in and try to lie and pull that. At that point, it's too big to hold it together. And I liken it to, let's say I wanted to do harm to, let's just say I wanted to do harm to a king, right? If the king was in a group of 2,500 to 5,000 people, like that was his area, and I infiltrated his area, I mixed in with his community. 2,500 to 5,000 people would know that I'm an outsider. It'd be very easy to tell I'm not from there. I don't speak that way. Like, people would inquire about me. But once it gets into, we live in these metropolises and this 200,000 people in this area, like 500,000 or a million plus people, if I infiltrated that community and I was trying to get the king, none of these people would even recognize that I'm there. They're too busy doing their own shit. They have too many things going on. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say the things I say. But anyway,
Anybody else is experiencing this. So last year, my homeowner's insurance for the year was $3,018. Year before that, it was $2,600. Year before that, $2,200. Year before that, $2,100. I've owned this house for 4 years. This year, my homeowner's insurance is over $6,000. No claims in the last 4 years. I've never had a claim against the house I'm living in now. But my insurance just doubled. Homeowners insurance doubled year over year with no claims.
Yet wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living.
yep. And further proof, all these jobs that people think, these jobs and these systems of homeowners insurance, bro, insurance, all these systems, bro, it's just, it's going to go away. I just say it's only going to go away when the death blow has been struck. The death blow hasn't been struck, and that's the only way it will go away. That's the only way it will go away. And until the death blow is struck, we're just going to keep playing this song and dance. You know, some people think like, oh, inflation's got to get up to this amount, or oh, it's got to be this amount of people without a spouse or without something, or oh, when they legalize, you know, corn on the street, or you know, girls can sell it. No, I don't think none of that will get the system to fall. The only way the system falls is with no electricity. Then it all goes away. All of it. All of the production of our new ideas and all these rulers who tell us, oh, well, we have to do this, we have to do that. None of that shit is going to go away. None of it's going to go away. So y'all keep living y'all life, doing what you want to do. I say take care of yourself, love one another, but realize you in this until the wheels fall off. And until the wheels fall off, it's going to be a bumpy ride, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Despite us seeing both Apple and Microsoft hit a $4 trillion valuation. And meanwhile, our representatives are telling us that inflation is only 3%, yet they're not explaining the bigger picture. Inflation may be 3% this year, but what was it last year and the year before? They're not adding on all the prior years, because the reality is inflation rarely.
And this is the reason why you can't listen to somebody who just says, who runs stuff by numbers, because numbers can be faked. Like in the example she said, you can say inflation's 3%, but what was it the last 3 years? Was it 3% each year? And how does it jump 5% last year, the year before, or whatever it is? Bruh, it don't matter if you're telling me it's 3%. Over the last 5 years, it's up 25%, 50%. 70%, you know, like that's the real issue. And that's the dishonesty that I hear from people, because I was talking to somebody, you know, about this stuff, and they was like, well, it's not exactly true that this, that, and the fourth. And this is something, shout out to CGA, this is something that CGA tried to explain to Andrew Wilson, which I don't understand how anybody believes anything that comes out of Andrew Wilson's mouth, because not of his current situation with his home. Like, I'm not here to bag a guy on like who he chose as a partner, because somebody might say the same thing about me or my partner. But what I'm saying is, you're not being honest. I have the view of people not being honest. When you tell me inflation's 3%, but over the last 5 years it's up 35% or 40%. My guy, the 3% we're talking about is in, I don't even know the correct word. It's immaterial. It doesn't matter. We're talking about being up 50% over 5 years. That's the real issue. Yeah, from last year to now, it only went up 3%. But what about over the last 4 years when it was 10% each year or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, that's the real issue. So don't believe any of these people throwing numbers out there to you. It's all lies. It's all BS. It doesn't matter.
Decreases. And in fact, it benefits the governments to have inflation because it means they owe less debt. And about that inflation, a lot of it is artificially created. Tyson and other corporations conspired to create an artificial pork shortage so that they could increase the prices of pork from 2009 to 2018. When they were caught, they paid just $85 million. That's nothing compared to the $20 billion pork industry. In earnings calls, the CEO has bragged about passing on inflation to consumers. Keep in mind, the same CEO that was caught creating artificial inflation.
Like many other companies, we were faced with a range of higher levels of inflation. Our teams have worked together with our customers to pass along that inflation through price increases.
We will remain disciplined and agile in our pricing initiatives to ensure that any additional inflationary pressures are passed along to customers.
We'd like to think that we have relationships with customers that allow us to be able to take to them. We'd like to think that
any additional inflationary pressures are passed along to customers.
We'd like to think that we have relationships with customers that allow us to be able to take to them inflation that we see in the marketplace and be able to pass that on ultimately to the consumer.
This is
why I say, like, these people who, I have no issue with anybody who's a CEO, but that's why I say always be wary of somebody who's a fast talker, a smooth talker. The reason why you should be wary of somebody who's a smooth talker is because they're gonna lie. They're almost 100% lying, and this is why the pimp, dare I say the pastor, like, there's already stories about how pimps turn to pastors because, you know, smooth talkers can they can fumble words real quick and get you in a bad situation. No different than the salesman. You know, you go in the mall, you trying to walk in the mall, you trying to get, you just trying to go get a hat from the hat store, and the guy trying to sell you lotion is like trying to put the lotion on your thing, on your hand, and he's ultimately a salesman. Then he's trying to get you to say, yeah, this is going to make your hand look good. This is going to make you do this, that, and the fourth, and you're going to look real nice, real pretty, this, that, and the fourth, and he's just doing too much. You don't really want to engage with him or be disrespectful to him, but he's doing too much. So then you end up buying his overpriced BS lotion set. It don't even work. You think you're getting more out of it than you actually did, but by that time, the cake been baked. It's too late. There is no returns. You see what I'm saying? You let him swindle you into it, no different than a car salesman. I'm not saying no different than a real estate person, but a real estate person maybe really can't fake you that much, because there has to be proof of what you're buying. So a real estate person luckily gets out of that situation because a real estate person really can't scam you into buying a home, because one, you have to view the home. So he can't get you to just buy something that you can't see. You actually have to get it inspected. So inspectors maybe can scam you. They could say the home is good when it's a piece of crap, and they can work with the real estate agent, but you have to get an inspection done so really the ins and outs of the home. So real estate agents kind of get out of that. But car salesmen, pastors, pimps, like smooth talkers, CEOs, like real smooth talkers, these people are almost 100% lying, fudging numbers. You just seen the whole thing with Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez looked like a weasel the moment I seen him. Talking about, I got this Lamborghini. How'd I get this Lamborghini? Knowledge from all these books, bruh. You're running a system like anybody else. There's no new tricks. There's no new tricks. There's only new gimmicks. There are no more tricks. There are only new gimmicks. There are no new tricks, just new gimmicks. This is no different than football. Football is 11 on 11. The defense can scheme up. They can't overly lie to the offense, and the offense can't overly lie to the defense. The only thing they could do is try to hide this. They can try to scheme it. They can have these little gimmicks to make you think that they're doing something when they, in fact, are doing something else. There's no way to fake it. You can have somebody show blitz and have them drop back. You can have somebody drop back or act like they're confused and then blitz. You can do a stunt where two linemen try to go around each other like that. There's no real, what I'm trying to prove to you is there's only gimmicks you can do. You can't lie because those systems are fixed. It's 11 on 11. But for the smooth talker, the fast talker, they're the real liars. Or they're either outright fabricating, or they're just not being honest, which not being 100% honest is fabrication to some degree, which is ultimately a lie.
What genuinely terrifies me, as unemployment keeps rising and millions of us are fighting over fewer jobs, all while the economy is horrible, we're handing unprecedented power to these corporations, and they know it. Companies are already using dynamic wage setting, using algorithms and AI to decide what we should be paid. It's algorithm exploitation. Uber pioneered this. Their AI was able to identify which drivers would accept a $3 ride because they're behind on their bills. DoorDash also uses it. CareRev uses it for healthcare workers.
I have been struggling to pay all my bills on time. When I first moved into this apartment 5 years ago, that wasn't an issue at all. I feel ashamed sometimes as a man or as a person that I can't come up with the bills. It's frustrating. I Uber every day. Right now it's Wednesday. I drove around from 7 till 11 and made $20.
What is stopping Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, or any other company from using this same type of wage setting? They already know our salary. They monitor everything we do on our work computer and phone. Because the reality is Amazon laid off 14,000 workers, yet they're still hiring for engineering, sales, and management. Microsoft laid off over 15,000 this year. They're hiring. Intel laid off roughly 22,000 this year, yet they're still hiring. These corporations lay off people.
And that's the only thing that I'll say that she's really wrong at. And this is my opinion. I'm not saying that they're not hiring, but what I'm saying is you can get rid of somebody higher paying to hire somebody lower paying, but at the same time, I don't even think that those, because she just showed positions. She doesn't show that people are actually getting hired. And that's where I believe she's slightly wrong at, is because just because a company advertises a position doesn't mean that they hire for it. There's just so few dollars floating around that nobody can actually maneuver healthy and organically, because it's all built upon a lie. All of this stuff that we believe is all built upon a lie. This lie has to go away so we can actually deal with each other honestly. When we deal with each other honestly, all these systems that we have can eventually come back 100 years later, but we have to be honest. See, if somebody's honest up front, the deal doesn't get done. So when, no different than a company says, I really don't like you, I just want you to come in here and do something for free, and or I'm gonna deal with you any type of way, or we're scamming over this. If the truth was always told, there's no money to be made. This is why lies happen, because lies allow some people to get more out of a situation than fair. Truth only really gets fairness. Truth gets you fairness, but fairness doesn't get you a Bentley. Lies get you a Bentley. Lies get you $1 million homes. Hard work, of course, leads to it, but the hard work 9 times out of 10 leads to certain scams or certain things where you're taking advantage of people or either their time, money, or resources. And that there is the lie. So, that's what I mean. Where truth helps everybody out. But if everybody was truthful, then we're all in uniform. You see what I'm saying? We're all in uniform. We're all 5 to 10% within range of each other. And that gives everybody an equal playing field. And I'm not saying I want everything to be equal. Yes, there are going to be people, because I'm not like a socialist or anything. Like, people are going to be above and beyond. I want people to go above and beyond. The problem with it is just the line. And I'm not saying the economy has to be fair to people. What I'm saying is it has to maneuver on honesty so that everybody else can grind and thrive and stuff like that. But it is what it is.
Only to hire new employees at a lower salary with less equity and a worse benefits package. If they're already trying to replace us with AI, is it really that big of a stretch to think that they wouldn't lower our salaries by roughly 30% because their AI determined that we're willing to accept that salary in this economy? They increasingly give us worse salaries while Andy Jassy, CEO of Amazon, made $40 million in 2024. His compensation is directly tied to Amazon's stock price. The day Amazon announced 14,000 layoffs, Amazon stock jumped 13%. The day UPS announced 48,000 layoffs, Amazon stock jumped 13%. The day UPS announced 48,000 layoffs, their stock price jumped almost 13% as well. Wall Street literally rewards human suffering. And some of you may own Amazon stock, because actually stock ownership in the US is at a record high. 62% of Americans own stock. But when we dig deeper, we see that the top 10% own 93% of all stocks. They want us to believe that this is about the future and innovation when they're literally just giving us a solution to a problem that they created. They're laying off real human workers today, investing that money into their dream of AI replacing all of us in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I've said it a million times before. These systems that we believe are in place, and this is the reason why I tell people, hey, listen, I have a job. I'm not somebody who's going to come on here like any of these people on a Pop the Balloon show say I'm an entrepreneur. No, I got a damn job like everybody else. I go in and I clock into work like everybody else. I punch a clock like every single body. So I'm not going to get on here and lie and say I don't. I do. But until we fix this, I just don't know when it stops, man. I just don't know when it stops. It is what it is. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. Hold on. So I got a homestead journey back.
I'm finna go deep inside.
Shout out to homestead journey.
Just leave them nuts hanging out.
Down since October 1st. SNAP benefits for over 42.
So I think I think the shutdown just ended, if I'm not mistaken. They just ended the shutdown.
Americans are on the chopping block, and air travel is seeing major delays due to staff shortages. But your mortgage,
and that's another thing.
Your childcare, your grocery bills, none of that's paused. And so many people are really starting to get impacted because this shutdown is lasting for a very long time at this point.
This is getting ridiculous. Federal workers not being paid. My husband goes to work for 10 hours a day, and we have nothing in the bank. We had to borrow money from our neighbor to buy groceries because we don't have any money.
See, these things, like, I'm not mad at her or her husband. I'm just saying when people want to be honest, and maybe that's my stick. Damn, maybe I just found my stick. But if people want to be honest, we have to walk away from all of this. But it can't just be one person here, 2 people there, 1,500 people in this state. No, we all have to walk away from this. And when I say we walk away from this and don't come back. We walk away from this and we start fresh. Throw it all in the trash. Everything, all the technology, all the resources, all the apps, all the phones, all the electronics. We got to throw all that shit in the trash and start fresh. Just you, me, families, and we grow our food. Other than that, we got everything has to be in-house. Nothing outsourced. Everything in-house. Everything in-house. So we have to learn to shelter ourselves, whether because we already have homes, fine, whatever. We got to live in homes, but we maybe that doesn't mean we get to live in a big ass mansion and it's just you and your family. Maybe it's got to be 30 of y'all in a mansion. Sleeping in certain areas and stuff like that. And everybody wakes up at a certain time and they go outside and they deal with the land, they deal with the food, they deal with that. But until that happens, we're going to be in this situation here. But ain't nothing I can do about it because, like I said, I'm just a YouTuber who got a job. And don't think that I'm saying that I won't do it. I'm going to do what I have to do to survive and take care of like me and the ones I have to take care of. But my overarching message is until all of this goes away, we're just going to keep being stuck here, and it's going to get worse,
Because he's not getting paid. I don't understand why they can't still pay these workers. They already have the money in the budget. This is ridiculous. They still get paid. Why are they still paid if they don't do their job? Why are they not required to stay at their job until they finish it?
Because that's the system that we allow. You allow this system. Every time you go to work and you don't challenge nobody and you get mad at somebody for something minuscule, meanwhile, you're not sticking together with people. Every time you look over, you don't learn to do something for yourself. Now I get it. We live in this country and we can't just do that. We can't just all leave and walk off the reservation, but we got to figure out something. You know what I mean? That's the only way we fix it. You don't fix nothing while the system is on. It's like America is a machine. You need to cut America's machine off to fix the machine. You can't fix the machine while it's in motion. You don't drive and fix the car. This ain't fucking Battlefield where you can have somebody shooting out of the tank and have somebody else doing the fixing the tank at the same time. You can't do that. It's like it's a bottle with a hole at the bottom. It don't matter if you pour a little bit of water or a ton of bit of water in it. It still has a hole at the bottom. It's never going to fill up with water. You have to stop the water pull from coming in, fix it, then allow water to come in. But nobody's going to stop. We're all just going to continue to keep going and keep going and keep going. But nobody wants to stop. Everybody just wants to keep going because, and this is hurting the guy-girl relationship. This is maybe my only dating advice that I'll give, but even when you see the pop the balloons, like a man has to do this, that, and the fourth, ma'am. This whole provider thing, like I said, the church is to blame for it. Y'all don't accurately portray to people, well, to women in my belief, that there is no, that's what you're entitled to. You're not entitled to nothing. You're entitled to work until death. Not work until death. Let me take that back. You're entitled to just death. That is the one thing that is going to come to you in your life. Until that day or until that situation happens, you should do what's in your best interest so that you don't make that faster or make it more, you're living your life harder on yourself until that day comes. Because that, don't get me wrong, that day is going to come. That day is going to come and you can either be in a nursing home or you could have had every experience in life, or you could have been rich. You could have had friends. You could have gone places. You could have did things. But trust and believe, that day is going to come. So until that day comes, you got that dash. You have the born date and that end date. That dash, you need to make the best out of. And sitting here saying, why do they get theirs and I don't get mine's, is not an accurate solution. At least for me, it ain't. So I'm doing everything in my best interest to, because I operate within this worldly system, I have to try to do what's in my best interest to get what I need. And that's it. Everybody else do that. Maybe we'll get somewhere as a people.
What do they expect people to do? I found out they can't turn off our electric and they can't turn off our water. What happens if they don't end up paying these people? What if they don't pay everybody for their work? What are we paying taxes for? They're not doing anything that helps Americans.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Maybe it sounds like maybe we should all just not, we should all do what's in our best interest. We should all just not interact with this system. But the reason why maybe women won't do it, and men, this is just my thought, but the reason why people ain't going to do it is because, well, if I don't interact with the system, I don't get to drive a new car. I don't interact with the system, I don't get to take a trip to Tahiti. If I don't interact with the system, I don't get to have a nice big house. I don't get to buy new clothes. I don't get a diamond ring. You know, I don't get to wear makeup. Like, I get it, you know. You want something and you need something. You're stuck. You can only go one way. You know? It just sucks, but...
Not a thing. They're not even doing their job. The most basic part of their job, which is passing budgets and bills and...
Yeah.
I'm really getting frustrated and tired and... What are we doing? What's the plan? What's the end game? Because, you know, even if they open everything up back up tomorrow, they're going to do the same thing in a few months. They continuously use this as a tactic, shutting down the government. Here's another question I have. What if they don't open up ever again? What if they just continue doing this? I don't know. Can they do that? Everyone says they can't do this, they can't do that, but here they are doing whatever they want.
Yep.
At what point?
Sounds like we should all learn how to grow our own food. We should all learn how to fish. We should all learn how to take self-defense classes or shoot or rifle, whatever. You know, it sounds like we should all learn how to be not self-sufficient in the sense of dealing with this worldly system. I say self-efficient in living our own lives, completely removed from this system. That's what it sounds like to me, but nobody's going to do that. And I know the thing is, well, Wayne, why don't you just do it with your family? Even if I did, what does that do? What does that solve? Okay, I take me and my family out of this system and we live off the grid, or we live in another country or whatever. Okay, cool. What does that mean for everybody else? My cousins still live here. My mom still live here. Like, what do they do? You know what I mean?
Is this a coup? Like, I don't... How much longer are people like my husband, all these workers, expected to give up at least 40 hours of their life with no pay? They're all short-staffed, they're all overworked, they're all tired, they're all stressed out, and they're not even getting paid. They can't feed their families.
I talked to my apartment complex to see if they would have any type of leniency, since I'm a federal employee that's currently not getting paid and I'm still working. And I said, all I'm asking is to waive the late fees if I can't make full rent on time. And the guy was like, no, we're not legally obligated to do that. I can't do that for you. When are places going to understand that just because the legalities are not there, it's probably the right thing to do to help people, because when my lease is up, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to put that.
I agree. You're going to remember that, but again, you're still dealing with the system. You have to be independent of the system. This is my belief. And I'm not even saying I am. I'm on a laptop with a fucking microphone and a $70 webcam. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no different than anybody else. You know what I mean? I am literally no different than anybody else. I got a wobbly ass, what do you call it? Little laptop stand, you know, in my home. You know what I mean? Like, we have to get from up under these systems. But in order for us to do that, we have to walk away from all the luxuries. It sounds like the Good Book all over again. We have to get away from all the luxuries of that life. Because driving a new car sounds really fun, and it actually really is fun. I've driven a sports car before back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. People drive motorcycles, people take trips out the country, you know. That's a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. But if we're going to live the way God said, we got to walk away from this want or desire from it. And I'm not even saying this from a person who's like the Bible thumper. I'm just saying it from a practical standpoint. You pick what you want, you know what I mean? You want this, you want the best of this, and you want the best of this. You don't get both. You either get this and watch everybody else maybe have fun, struggle, but you watch from the outside, or, bruh, at the end of the day, it's like cage fighting. You want the luxuries that come with cage fighting, like the fancy trips, this, that, and the fourth, but then you get beat. You know, you're fighting an opponent, you know, work or family or, you know, kids. You're fighting this upward momentum of, I gotta perform, so you're just in the cage fighting. Like UFC. You know? And the referee is the one person who you think is going to call it fair. That's the government. You think it's going to call it fair and help you out when your opponent in life hits you with a low blow, and they don't do nothing. They act like they ain't see it. But the moment you doink your opponent in the eye of life, you know, you mess up or you do something wrong, then you're going to get hit with some type of fee. So it's either you're in the cage fighting or you're outside of the cage watching. You cannot be both. If that makes any sense. You cannot be in the cage fighting, getting the best that comes from fighting, you know, with this work system and all this stuff, or you have to be completely independent of it. You know, but people want the best of both.
At the back of my mind, because when you're in the business of an apartment complex or insurance company or whatever, relationships mean something.
Welcome back to day 3 of me crashing out in my car.
No, they don't. Relationships don't mean nothing. These people want their money, and you either gonna find it or not. And I'm not saying this like I'm a big bad person. Nah, I'm broke just like everybody else, bruh. You know what I mean?
I do not look down on niggers, kikes, wops, or greasers. Here you are all equally worthless.
Bruh, we are all equally worthless, bruh. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. But it don't matter. It doesn't matter. You're still interacting with that system. We have to figure out a way to stop interacting with that system.
Going into work because I'm a federal employee and I still have to go into work every day and not get paid for it. And the mental toll that this is taking on me and on my coworkers is really unacceptable.
I don't know if it's the mom in me, but I cannot sit back and let people that I know and care about go hungry. Right now we are in the middle of a government shutdown. The military is not getting paid. I'm blessed.
That's even worse. So again, and this is why I say, my dad was in the military, and I actually wanted to go to the military when I was younger. but I couldn't for medical reasons with my vision, right? They're not even paying their fucking military. And you think that this system that you guys hold up, or not you laughing man, but this system that people hold up is going to take care of anybody else. They're not even paying the same people they want to defend against foreign invaders. When are you going to realize that these people are not doing in your best interest? There's no way that anybody thinks that this is even possible. How are they not even paying their military? The very people who make sure that these places don't get overrun, they're not even paying. Oof. You couldn't pay me with a stick. Now, I don't even know how these people ain't started taking matters into their own hands, or figuring out, or robbing like these places or institutions or anything like that, bro. There's no way. You don't pay me, I don't do service for you, bro. Service for payment. That's all it is, bro. Or payment for service, bro. That is it. A job lives on service for payment, and an employee lives on payment for service. That is it. That is it.
It's enough to be able to have a savings and have an emergency fund. But for some people, especially new people in the military, young people, not at a position where they are able to do that or where they have done that. I have a soldier right now, brand new to the military, been in barely a year, 18 years old, who didn't tell me, maybe because she's too proud, maybe she's nervous, maybe she's scared, whatever the case may be. But she told her battle buddy that she has $3 to her name. The battle buddy came and told me today. And I'm like, I know that there are programs, I know there are things, but in the moment right now, I'm thinking, what can I do to help this soldier? I am going to go to the commissary and get that soldier a gift card to buy groceries.
Ain't no fucking way, bruh. 18-year-old soldier, $3 to his name. His or her name, I don't know. She didn't say what gender they were. $3 to their name, and bruh, this is fucking sick. This is sick. This is sick. And y'all, not y'all, but just people allow it. And that's why I said we're either all gonna do the same thing, or we're going to share the same shitty experience. And this is what I mean by that statement. Not all of us are gonna deal with this. Some of us are like politicians, or some of us are like basketball players. So we're just sneaky enough, smart enough, intuitive enough, know the right people to get out of that system. Just a few of us, right? However, everybody else is still in that system, and they're all sharing the same horrible experience. Here this woman is not getting paid from the military, but because she has a savings, she's going to give a gift card for another soldier to have to get groceries. And these are people in the military. I don't think people understand like how disrespectful these people that y'all call leaders are. There's no way. Couldn't be me, bruh.
It's Friday. I cannot sit in my house and be wondering, is my soldier going to be able to eat this weekend? Until Monday, when stuff open back up and the banks, and we can try to get her a loan, this and that. So I figure at least with a gift card, she can get some bread, some lunch meat, some cereal and milk, some cup of noodles, and be able to eat. But I just wanted to come on here.
Look at that. And I'm not mad at this. God bless this woman. I hope it is a special place in heaven for her. For looking out for a fellow soldier, for one, and two, doing something noble. I mean, she's putting it on the internet and whatever, that's fine. But God bless this woman. But the fact that she has to break bread with a soldier, bruh, this is just disheartening, bruh. This is just disheartening, bruh.
here and let people know that you may have people in your formation to the left and to the right of you who are scared to speak up, who don't feel comfortable saying anything, and they're suffering in silence.
If you're trying to keep up with the government shutdown, let me give you some even worse news. So I am a federal employee, which means I'm working without getting paid. I go to work every single day, but I receive zeros all the way down my paycheck. Today was the second day of receiving a zero paycheck. But to add insult to injury, not only did I get a zero paycheck today, myself and everyone who I work with, stateside and overseas, received a debt letter as well. So depending on how long you've worked for them and depending on how high you are up, your debt letter was higher. So now I'm making nothing, and I also apparently owe money.
So it's day
Terrible.
something of this government shutdown. It is currently November 4th. For those of you who don't know, I did share on my page that I am someone who is unemployed and furloughed due to the government shutdown. I am a mom of 4. I am married, but my income does substantially help support my family. So I just want to kind of give some insight to how this affects me financially. So for me personally, I have been with the whatever government since 2008. So this is not my first shutdown. The longest one that I experienced was back in 2018. I think that one was 35 days long. And the way that
this is just sickening, bruh.
That shutdown to this shutdown, what I did when the government shut down this time is that I made sure all of my bills were paid up through the end of October. So now we are at November 4th and my bills are going to start coming due. But what I did is made sure that I have, usually like I'm ordering Costco every 2 weeks, all the things. And of course, a lot of it's unnecessary. My kids need certain snacks. So I have cut back on spending. And I'm just trying to be creative with what food I already have in my pantry, already in my freezer. So yeah, if anything, I feel like once the government does reopen, it has allowed me to kind of be more frugal because I know that I do, a lot of times I'm spending money not thinking twice about it. Not to say that I have a ton of money. I don't have a luxurious house. I don't drive a luxurious vehicle. I don't wear luxurious clothes. I am frugal, but I'm being even more frugal. And now that Christmas is approaching, just kind of getting ready for that. Something else that I've done is I have created some side hustles for myself. So I also have an Etsy shop and I make handmade tallow. That is called Rue and Rose Co. You can check me out. And then the other thing that I've done is I created a TikTok account. I didn't really post shoppable videos because my account went viral for telling moms to wake up for their kids, not to their kids. And I am in the creator program where I get paid if I have a video that's over a minute long and it gets over 1,000 views. So for example, this video, if you watch it, I could get paid for this video. So anyways, I have tried to create alternative income streams again, because
and that's something I talk about a lot too. So a lot of people will look at me like, oh, you just make content and talk shit on the internet, bruh. You're missing, even when I had like the conversations I had with my homies before I started doing YouTube, I'm like, bruh, you're missing the grandest of fucking points. Number one, it's content. Number two, that's all it takes is for one of these videos to take off. And I'm in the game, baby. You know what I mean? I'm in the game, baby. That's all it takes is just for one. I don't need a million. I don't need, now, it'd be lucky if I can get a lot of more consistent views, but let's say a video takes off and I become a household name for 5 months, whatever. Bruh, you know what can come from it? Let's just say the video take off, I make $20,000 in a month from it. Okay, well now I got $20,000 and now I got a consistent audience of maybe a couple hundred people as long as I keep streaming. Or like gaming YouTubers. Gaming YouTubers are perfect for this. They live the best life. The ones that are really getting paid, like the Knicks, Mercs, the Cloaksy, Tim the Tatman, like those types, they getting the best. Not only do they get to travel, they get consistent viewership, consistent income, and their content is part of like whatever partner program. So based on views, these guys are probably making $50,000 a month. I know for a fact one of them's living in like an $8 million home. So they're making money consistently, staying in the house, away from everybody, and playing a video game. Bro, what is not to love about that situation? You know? And that's all from content. So you can create content, get introduced to somebody, start making more content or better content, and or you can get put on business ideas because you're around certain individuals. It's just an iron in the fire. Let's just say you always had these business ideas. Like I got a few business ideas. Well, if I had a video take off, that now gives me extra funding that I can use to try to spin up one of these ideas that are in my brain so I can actually put it on paper. But people don't look at it like that. They just look at, oh, you just on the internet talking shit. Bruh, first off, we all talk shit. That's for one. Second of all, some people actually get paid to talk shit. I'm not at that stage yet, and I got quite a bit of ways to go. But I'm one viral video away from, I'm at least 25% of the watch hours needed for monetization. So as long as I keep doing live streams, I need to get back to cutting videos and getting people to watch my videos, but I really don't have the time during the day. But before I actually pick up this second job, I need to do that. And I'll probably try to do more of that, dropping videos during the day. But, bro, people just, I don't know, bro. People think what they want to think, feel how they want to feel, but people gotta realize it's different now. We live in an economy where we do content. We do content around here, shawty. So y'all figure it out.
I am a mom of four. My kids are in sports, and I don't want to be stressed over money. I don't want to stress over it. So I have created other income streams outside of my main job. So I hope that this is just some insight into what it's like to be a federal employee who is furloughed out of work due to the government shutdown.
It is what it is. I tell people all the time, bruh. I tell people at my job, like if I'm working, I tell people, bruh, if you're not making I ain't saying you got to make content, but you got to do something to try to get more money for yourself. I'm not even saying that it's going to work. It probably won't work, but what it will do is teach you. It'll lead you to other people. It'll put you in the right direction. So long as you're going in the right direction, you'll get a touchdown. Let's say the touchdown is $1 million. Bruh, throw them underneath passes so many times in life. People think that they just going to be on the job and throw that deep ball pass and become manager, general manager, regional manager, senior regional. Bruh, I'm not saying that can't happen. Those big plays in football happen. You get them 50-yard bombs because the coverage fell off. The safety got stagnant. He tried to jump that in route or that pause route, like that 10-yard in. The safety tried to jump it. Meanwhile, it was a hitch and go. And the corner bit on it. And by the time you hit them with the hitch, the corner bite, it's over. The corner realizes it, got to turn around and follow you, and you already downfield. Quarterback see you, the cornerback looking at him, wrong direction, sir. 40 yards. You catch it and you walk, you run it. Bruh, those plays in life are going to happen. Maybe rarely, but it's possible. So until that happens, just run the ball. Run the ball for 3 yards. 3 straight times, you get 12 yards out of it. You got another set of first down. Throw a little curl route, 5-yard curl route, or a drag across this, or a wide receiver drag. Bro, just do that. Don't worry about the big play. You're going to march the ball down the field, and you'll eventually hit pay dirt. So that's why I say with making content, getting a business idea out, anything you got to do. Not Temu. What the woman just say? Etsy. You can start selling clothes. Hell, this shirt I made from Printify. If you want to order a shirt, I'll eventually have the website up, and when it's up, then you can order a shirt if you want to order it. And yeah, bruh. This ain't, y'all just gotta figure it out. Y'all gotta figure it out. But anyway, that being said, that's gonna be it for this video. Shout out to whoever was watching me, you know what I mean?
You ugly motherfucker.
But yeah, shout out to Laughing Man. Laughing Man, I truly got love for you, man. You come here almost every day. I mean, yeah, you're here every day. Since you found me, you're here every day, and I really got love and appreciation for you. Plus, you're somebody who has you know, you're overcoming health related, you know, ailments. I'll just say, and shout out to you for that. Never letting this situation of being in this world like throw you off your pattern, bro. Go figure it out. Don't cry and complain. That's just more ground for you to make up. So I don't look down on myself because of it. I guess subconsciously I used to or whatever like that, but now I'm more enticed to go get it. So that's what I'm doing every day, and I'm trying to do that to the best of my ability. But anyway, like I said, that's gonna be it for this video. Shout out to A Homestay Journey. Shout out to Vanessa Wingard. And yeah, shout out to everybody who watched my content. I'm not gonna be on tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do something different tomorrow for something else. And yeah, we gonna see what happens. And yeah, man. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and I'll catch y'all boys maybe back here on what's today? Today Monday, right? I'll catch y'all boys back here on Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday night. But anyway, peace, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe too.
You ugly motherfucker.